Simply had that left over, I must admit, be that you took California by storm. Oh, I do not know about it when the hurricane cleared up, although, to procure all the property, in 1947 Bob Hope and Bing Crosby appeared like Hollywood's best duo, but behind their famous road movies lay a sour fact. Crosby, referred to as him a talentless hack, refused to attend his roasts, and wouldn't permit their wives socialize. Now, a long time later, the real story emerges of the way two comedy legends went from companions to enemies and the shocking betrayal that finally tore them aside. Bob Hope turned into Bourne as Leslie Cities. Hope on May 2, 1903, in a London suburb called Elam. His father, William, became a stonemason from Somerset. His mom, Avis, became a light opera singer from Wales. Cash was tight, and lifestyles in England turned into no longer easy. William decided to take a danger on a better future in 1907. He left for America and settled in Cleveland, Ohio, in which his brothers had been already operating as PL and steam fitters. 12 months later, he sent for his spouse and 6 sons. The family traveled in 1/3 Elegance aboard the SS Philadelphia and arrived at Ellis Island on March 30th, 1908. Whilst immigration officers recorded their records, they mistakenly indexed Bob as 2 years old in place of 4. That mistake stayed with him on reliable files for years. Existence in Cleveland turned into difficult. The Hope family lived in a small home close to Don's Corners and struggled to make ends meet. They regularly took in boarders for extra income. Avis, despite the hardships, by no means stopped encouraging her kids. She taught Bob to sing and helped him develop his natural ability to entertain. He loved to mimic human beings, tell jokes, and perform little dance routines. Even when money turned into scarce, his mom made positive he had a risk to develop his competencies. Bob's first actual flavor of performing got here while he became 10. He entered a Charlie Chaplin look-alike contest at Luna Park in Cleveland, and received. He loved the pleasure of being on degree, but at that point, entertainment wasn't his fundamental cognizance. As a substitute, he had become inquisitive about boxing. In 1919, he competed inside the Ohio Newbie Boxing Championships under the call Packy East, a tribute to boxer Packy McFarland. He received 3 fights earlier than losing within the finals. Later in life, he joked that he spent greater time on the canvas than Picasso to support his family. Bob took some thing jobs he ought to discover. He bought newspapers, labored as a soda jerk, bought shoes, or even attempted hustling pool. Those jobs put him in touch with all styles of humans. He paid attention to how they talked, how they moved, and what made them chortle without understanding it. He was collecting the cloth that might later shape his comedy with the aid of the 1920s. He started taking leisure greater severely. He took dance instructions from experts like King Races Brown and Johnny Root, which helped him get small jobs in vaudeville. His first appearing partner was Mildred Rosequist, however. Her mom wouldn't permit her to journey, so he teamed up with Lloyd Durbin and later George Byron. Within the beginning, he achieved in small venues like Cleveland's Bandbox Theater. He kept running, enhancing, and mountaineering his way up. By using 1931, he had reached New York City's Palace Theater, one of the biggest vaudeville levels in the USA. Vaudeville have become Bob's schooling floor. Maximum comedians of the time caught to organized workouts, but he advanced a greater natural style he favored to interact with the audience instead of simply deliver rehearsed jokes. His performances mixed dancing with short on-liners, a mix that set him aside from different entertainers. Via the overdue 1930s, he made the soar from vaudeville to radio. His first radio appearances protected, website hosting the Intimate Review in 1935 and the Atlantic Family from 1935 to 1936, those early indicates, helped him get noticed, but it changed into the Pepsodent show starring Bob Hope that made him a national megastar. While the Pepsodent display began airing on NBC, it have become an instant hit in the early 1940s. It was the primary display in America, even as time exceeded. It stayed in the Pinnacle 5 for more than 10 years each week. Thousands and thousands of listeners tuned in waiting to listen what desire could say subsequent. His style turned into specific from different comedians on the Time Maximum Radio. Stars performed fictional characters However, Hope made himself the punchline. He joked approximately actual events and regular existence, preserving his cloth fresh. He informed his writers to examine the newspaper and flip headlines into jokes. They wrote loads of jokes every week, and Desire picked handiest the best. This fast-paced method set the stage for the past-due night communique display monologues that might come decades later. His fulfillment did not move disregarded. He won 3 Peabody Awards, one of the highest honors in broadcasting. The first came in 1944. Recognizing his efforts to enhance morale all through the conflict, the Peabody Committee praised his willpower, saying, "The joy he added to the troops should in no way be measured later." He obtained more Peabody Awards for his paintings in each radio and TV at its height. The Pepsodent display wasn't simply the maximum popular radio show, it became part of American way of life. From 1942 to 1944, it held the top spot, proving that comedy will be greater than just amusement. It is able to deliver human beings collectively. It may lift spirits in difficult times. Even after radio faded, pop's impact never disappeared. In 1990, he became inducted into the Radio Hall of Repute, a final honor for a person who had spent a long time shaping the arena of comedy. Bob Hope's begin in Hollywood became something, however glamorous his first film position got, here in 1934. With Going Spanish, a short movie that he later joked turned into so terrible it should be used as punishment. That type of humor became his trademark, sharp, self-conscious, and continually added with perfect timing. He didn't take himself too seriously, however. Audiences loved him for it. His big wreck came inside the huge broadcast of 1938. It wasn't just every other musical comedy. It gave the arena "Thank You for the Memory." Hope sang the tune with Shirley Ross, and it became an on-the-spot hit. The lyrics were sentimental and witty, and the melody changed into unforgettable. Greater than just a song, it had become part of his identity. It captured the whole lot. Human beings cherished approximately him, appeal, humor, and a touch of sincerity. Through the past 230s, Hope became already a major megastar on radio. However, Hollywood changed into a one-of-a-kind assignment. His film roles played on his herbal comedic style. He became usually the fast-speaking, overconfident guy who found himself in problem The Cat and the Canary. 1939 become an excellent example. It was a mixture of horror and comedy with wish gambling, an apprehensive hero trapped in a haunted residence. The balance of suspense and humor labored, and audiences couldn't get enough of him. Then came Avenue 2, Singapore 1940. This turned into the start of something mythical. It changed into the first of the street-to-films, a sequence that paired Desire with Bing Crosby and Dorothy Lamour. Those movies had the whole lot: music, adventure, and non-forestall comedy. Desire and Crosby had superb chemistry. Crosby turned into the clean talker, Hope became the wisecracking coward, and Lamour became the woman they each chased. After what made these films unique became how herbal they felt, a good deal of the humor wasn't inside the script. Hope and Crosby improvised continuously, throwing jokes at each different and even breaking the fourth wall. Their brief banter gave the movies an electricity that audiences cherished. The collection ran for over a long time, with Road to Morocco 1942 becoming one of the most popular entries. The formula changed. Into Easy, however, it by no means got old. Hope and Crosby were not just appearing, they were having fun, and it confirmed even out of doors. The street to collection wish proved he ought to carry a film on his personal. He had a gift for parody, taking conventional genres and turning them into hilarious comedies. The Faded Face 1948 turned into a perfect instance. He played a cowardly dentist who by chance became a Western hero. The idea of Hope as a gunslinger turned into ridiculous. However, that's what made it so funny. He failed to play tough men. He performed the guy who were given in over his head and by some means survived. His love for Paradette endured with My Favorite Brunette 1947, a comedy that poked a laugh at detective movies, The Ghostbreakers 1000, 940 blended horror and comedy with desire seeking to live to tell the tale, A Night in a Haunted Mansion. He wasn't a conventional motion, big name, he failed to combat his manner out a problem. He talked his manner out. That made him exceptional from other leading men on the time. Bob Hope's first USO tour on May 6, 194. One turned into the start of something historic that nighttime at Marchfield in California. He'd done his NBC radio display stay for a target market of servicemen. It became a new revelant for him, and a massive moment for the USO, which had been founded simply months in advance. Squatties filled the venue eager to see a Hollywood famous person carry out only for them desire. Gave them a mixture of comedy and music, but extra than that, he gave them a cause to chortle. His jokes have been sharp, short, and made only for them. He pointed out their day-by-day lives, their struggles, and the strange world of military bases.